with the honor call for greatness, the chosen of few that carry the gift of genius, who do what they do, who possess finesse of blessed with desire. It's true.
Welcome back to Gilbert Arenas, presented by Underdog Fantasy. Whoa! Thursday, our last show of the week. I'm back with the living legend, Gilbert Arenas.
What's happening?
We got the national champion, Rashad McCants. We got the Hood's champion, Brandon Jennings.
And freedom.
And you got to introduce yourself.
I'm Josiah Johnson.
Okay,
I get the smoke.
All the smoke.
Ooh, hot boxing. So Rashad, we see you come through with these elaborate matching fits, but you rocking the UNC today.
Y'all know what it is. It's March Madness.
What time they play today?
They're gonna win it all. They're gonna win it all.
We're gonna get into that in a little bit, but we got to go back to this Ja situation. It seems like we talk about Ja every day, but news broke Wednesday that the NBA suspended Ja for 8 games. They were crediting him with games served, so he'll be back Monday against the Mavs. But shortly after that news broke, ESPN dropped an interview with Ja and Jalen Rose discussing some of his recent off-court issues. But they had that man looking like R. Kelly in the interview.
Facts.
It was pretty wild. Speak. So, what did you think about Ja doing an interview with Jalen Rose in ESPN? You watched it?
I ain't watch it.
You watched it?
I watched a clip.
Okay, what do you think?
It was weird. It was kind of like scripted almost. And just Ja's whole demeanor was like, it wasn't mine. I don't know what happened, I don't condone violence and I don't listen to NBA young boy, and I just didn't believe it.
Listen, it was dumb as fuck. Okay, it was stupid. Like, I'm glad it was Jalen Rose, because, obviously he's gonna, we're gonna talk about this first. I'm not gonna hit you with a haymaker, so I'm glad it was Jalen Rose, but at the end of the day, who gives a fuck, all right? Who cares? It's over. He's back playing Monday, trying to clean up, the image. Let your game do it. Whatever you say personally on that show is not going to change no one's opinion. Right. Whose gun is it? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? What gun? What gun? Did anybody find a gun? I ain't find no gun. I told you it was a Taiwanese filter. That's what it was.
It's TikTok.
Look, he could have said that, and he's gonna get the same response. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Some of those questions was really just who cares, right? Who cares? What he did was not illegal, right? He got suspended. Same shit I got suspended for.
Yep.
Not no weapon. Detrimental to something.
Right.
I was detrimental to the team. He was detrimental to the league. I don't know what he did to the league, but they're going to find a way to try to make it make sense in the public's eye, and that's all the suspension was.
So did he jump in front of it? Is that what they tried to do? Like, let's jump in front of this so this 8-game suspension kind of looks like it's warranted? Is that what because it looked like when you jump in front of it like that fast, I didn't expect it to happen that fast. It was like, oh, y'all already did the interview?
Yeah, well, I guess that news breaking about him going to the counseling rehab in Florida, he had already been there before the news broke. So it wasn't like news broke and he was there. Apparently he had already done it, the whole counseling stuff in Florida. Then he went to New York to meet with Adam Silver.
Checked in the rehab.
He did not go to no Florida to do no rehab on nothing, okay? All right, listen.
That's what the news says, guys.
He went to Tootsie.
Yeah, you take me to Florida, I'm going back. I'm going back.
We're going to Tootsie,
You telling me a 23-year-old learned that goddamn fast? No, listen. It was all PR.
It was intensive.
Yeah. Listen, I get it. Yeah. It's all PR.
Yeah. So he can't learn that fast.
But at the end of the day, he can learn that fast, really. But at the end of the day, you're trying to force something on someone. You're trying to force that he went to some rehab to do some. No, okay? His ass was in Memphis, working on his game, getting ready, staying in shape, all right? Let's just say the facts. And then, the interview, once they announce, he gonna be back Monday, that's it. I don't need to do no interview. Fuck off. Fuck off.
That's why I'm
back.
That's one reason why I didn't watch it. I didn't even.
I'd have been gritty all through that motherfucker. I can't wait to get the John Gritty back, baby. I can't wait to get that John Gritty. That's all I care about.
I go front. You low-key hitting that.
You was in it.
I got kids, man.
Okay, Gil.
So in Ja's defense, ESPN ran the interview. I don't think ESPN would have been able to book that interview. I think it was more Jalen reaching out to Ja, being able to secure the interview, and I think the league probably has something to do with it in terms of the PR standpoint. Because like you said, Gil, they weren't just, a lot of people watching like, damn, Jalen Rose sounded like the feds there. Like, nah, here's the questions, Ja, like, here's what you need to say.
Yeah.
I don't think it was like, oh, I'm just going to ask you these questions off the dome. Like, there was some preparation involved.
I mean,
a PR move.
We know, as soon as he said, I don't listen to YoungBoy, my 10-year-old listen to YoungBoy.
I said, my son listen,
Yeah, I mean, I listen. I'm not going to say, listen, all of us, when we played, and this goes out for, Caucasian, is that what we're going to call it, Caucasian America?
Yeah.
All right, listen.
We can.
You guys have certain type of music you listen to before games. Some guys listen to rock, metal. We listen to hip hop, and it's the worst hip hop. Like when I played, I listened to nothing but DMX and Tupac. Hit 'em up. Can't See Me, because you couldn't. Ambitions of a Rider.
100%.
Right? We listen to that type of music to get us amped up. So this generation, they're going to listen to NBA YoungBoy, Chief Keef. That's what you're going to listen to. Like when you hear it in the arena, they play it in the arena. So, like trying to make him sound like, oh, I don't like, no, Ja, listen, do you, man.
Yeah, be you. Yeah, be you.
Yeah,
Be art.
We got him on video saying, there's a party in my city, like 20 different times. You listen to NBA YoungBoy.
Future, right? Come on,
Future,
that's what you listen. You trying to get hyped for a game. Like, nobody's sitting there listening to Cisco and shit, trying to get thong. I got to guard Kyrie Irving. I'm not listening to no Cisco. You crazy? It's an NBA YoungBoy, man.
That's hilarious. So we'll keep it moving. Gil, after Ja's suspension was announced, somebody tweeted, Gilbert Arenas is an amazing lawyer, turned 50 games into 8. What did you think when you saw that tweet?
Facts. No cap. No cap. And I don't even want no check for that, man.
He don't got to.
No, because I knew.
Get a retainer a little.
No, because when they were throwing out that 50 games, I knew what they were going to try to do, and I had to make it public. I didn't get suspended for no weapons. I got suspended for detrimental. So the only thing you can use against him is detrimental, but you can't use it for mental anymore. Because the NBA done stopped that. I mean, the Players Association stopped that. That's why they couldn't do Ben Simmons like that. When they were trying to force him back and they suspended him, talking about, oh yeah, you got a cell phone in your pocket when there was a water bottle. Oh, he's mentally not fit. Suspended him, and then when they unsuspended him, he pulled it on them. So it's one of those moves. So the only thing they can do is just say, all right, time served, because at the end of the day, it was really, you don't have nothing on them.
And you didn't communicate with Ja though, but I'm sure his PR team watches the show. Who doesn't watch Gil's Arena?
But wait, I mean, he definitely needs to be under retainer.
Yeah.
Johnny Glockton.
No.
You get in some trouble? Go ahead and DM Gil. Let me get some advice.
That's what I would do if I was in the league. Like, yo, Gil, how should I move?
No. I got to, hey, look, during
you need to go to rookie transition.
For real.
You need, like the NBA, like with this Ja situation, I think the rookie transition needs players like us, like players that's been through something, not just players that had a great career and just want to be around and say the right things. It's like, no, bring some real guys in there. Like a guy like you, Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson,
Zebo,
like Zebo, like guys like that would be great for the rookies, because it's like these are real situations you're gonna have to deal with. So bringing in, I like Tim McCormick, but it's like like certain, it's like
Shane Battier,
like you know what I'm saying? It's like,
listen, I get you, bro.
Yeah, it's like watch out.
JJ Redick.
Yeah,
like unless you like someone that is in LeBron's situation, then you have someone that's knows how to move, him, Kobe, LeBron, but they're not gonna come back like that.
Nah.
But I don't even though like a Shane Battier moved like a LeBron, I don't want to hear Shane Battier.
Yeah, I'm not listening. Yeah, I'm not as a rookie. I'm not. Nah. Like bring me somebody I can feel that's really been through something.
That was getting some ass. Like we was moving around. Shane wasn't moving around getting some ass like that. We was out there getting it. You know what I'm saying? Like they was in the room and shit. We was moving around. You know what I'm saying?
So I don't think the NBA will ever officially allow you to pull up. Now my decision will be there. So you should be like Akeem. Like Akeem do his post camp. You should do your own Gil's rookie transition.
But now you understand why I was acting like a clown at my rookie transition. because it was all silly to me.
Yeah.
All of it looked silly, right? And that's why I was doing what I was doing. It's all looked silly.
So we got to blame the league a little bit.
Yeah.
For not setting you up.
Here we go. Think about this. When I said I wanted to be a pimp, right? So you know how they ask you questions. So they asked the Collin twins, Stanford, Harvard Westlake, right? Hey, speaking, talking, yeah, this is what I want to do. And I made sure, hey, ask me that question. So I already put the word down the pipeline, so they, ask him. That's how it got to the silly nigga in the back. Right, that's how it got. See, no one realizes, wait, out of all the people in here, you get him?
Yep.
And that's what it was. So that's when Collins came around. I want to be a pimp. And then dude got heated, right? He got heated. So you want to, do. Oh, matter of fact, I want to be international, so I doubled down on him, right? And then after that, you can rant all you want. I already won.
Oh, man.
I already won. There's nothing you can do at this point anymore. I done already made this whole thing look silly.
For sure.
Do y'all remember any good advice that y'all got from that rookie symposium?
I definitely do. Dante Jones came and spoke. Dante and Q Rich spoke at ours.
Oh, y'all had young ones?
Yeah, Dante Jones and Q. So Dante gave us some advice as far as like playing. Like you could kill in practice. I think he was in Memphis at the time. It's like you can kill all day. You ain't never gonna play if that man making 15 million a year. But then there's Q talking about the chicks. It's like, hey man, be careful. Strap up. There's a chick named Mona in Toronto. She got a whole slew of them. She gonna send her.
Mona, I heard.
You remember Mona?
I know Mona. Yeah, I know Mona.
Chris Bosh used to warn us like, hey man, y'all come up here and you get something, like protect your jewelry, put it in a little safe, cause you gonna get drunk and they gonna go in that little safe.
Still doing their thing.
Yeah.
Lifetime Achievement Award.
I was in the little circles, you know what I'm saying? I knew where to go and what to do.
Allegedly.
Yeah, my Toronto experience got cut short my rookie season. I can't say who the player was, but he was waiting for the schedule to come out because he had a bad experience at a strip club in Toronto. Yeah, he got special attention by a man that he thought it was a woman.
Oh my
right.
God.
So
You got to check the Adams apple. Check the Adams apple.
So
Tommy.
all he was talking about was he can't wait to get to Toronto. So I'm like, hey, what's up with Toronto?
Yeah.
And then when the story came out, I was like, ooh, okay, I don't want to be in Toronto.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was in it.
I was like, so you gonna go back? They was like, yeah, he gonna go back for seconds.
He probably still
He
up
going
there.
back for seconds.
He's
Don't
still
let that
up
fool
there.
you.
Right? He
Don't
done
let
moved
that
to
fool you.
Toronto. He up there now.
Yeah, he going back for seconds.
So you talking about life on the road. That brings you back to our next point with this Grizzlies team. According to The Athletic, the Grizzlies have decided to leave road cities like Miami, where they had a game recently, immediately after the game instead of staying overnight.
See,
It's becoming corny now. It's corny. It's becoming corny.
The NBA experience is all about staying after. That's the whole point. Like, if you're not hooping, let's say, Gil the star, I'm coming off the bench, I don't really get my 20 minutes. I'm looking forward to after the game, because I've been scouting in the stands. I'm like, okay, yeah, go get her. Yeah, we gonna party after this. But then if we leaving immediately, it's like just the camaraderie of the NBA is about enjoying after the fact that you get to hoop, you get to enjoy the city, you go to the restaurants, you know what I'm saying, meet the fans. That's a part of it. But when you start
when you win too.
Yeah, when you winning.
Shit, you gonna win? Shit, let's go in their city. Let's drink, get their girls everything, and then we out.
Yeah.
hold on. See, this is why I say common sense ain't that common. So if we play a game and we're not gonna stay and we're gonna fly to the next city, what do you think we're gonna do when we land?
To the next city.
Don't stall me.
What do you think we're gonna do when we land? Straight to the club.
Don't stall me.
Same thing.
If we get there late, parking lot pimp.
Quick turnaround.
You know what I mean? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
You just cutting out the dinner portion.
Yeah.
After the game, I just can't go to dinner. We go to the club around 1, 2 o'clock. What time you think you're getting in the next city? 1, 2 o'clock. Those players put their bags up, V-line straight to whatever club or strip club that it's the same thing, but just in the city you're going to. So if they would have played Denver and went to LA, they would have been at a club in LA.
100%.
But what if they got to go to Oklahoma City or Salt Lake City?
They got a club, right?
Straight to the room? Are you going to the club
They
in
went
Salt
to
Lake?
Denver. It's the difference.
I already know.
Oklahoma City, Denver, Memphis, Minnesota. Hey, listen, if the boys want to be out, the boys are going to go out. There's nothing you can do about it.
So what's the best city to play in on the road?
Wait, the play-in, we talking fans? We're talking
Post-game activities.
Miami.
By far.
Easy?
It's a different planet. It's a different planet, boy. And listen, when you land in Miami, ain't no go to put your bags in the room or none of that. As soon as you get off the bus, you tell the bellman, hey, take it wherever the room at, take it. Leave the bags right there. I'll be back later. You can leave them right here. But the limo's ready. The limo ready for us.
So when y'all played, it was Miami. So when I got in the league, that's when Drake and them started. That's when that's when Drake and The Weeknd and everybody. So to me, it was Toronto for me because that's when Drake was around, like just coming up, and The Weeknd and everything. So they had the city, like Mona. They had it all really popping, like Carabanas, like.
No, when I first came in, Toronto was the city because of Vince.
Yes.
Okay.
And Vince had like that weekend there, and it's like I heard it was bananas over there.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Vince brought bottle service to Toronto. I watched the doc, and that's what they said.
Oh, y'all talking about this, Vince?
yeah.
Yeah. We had exclusive access.
But it was like Miami, Atlanta, people like going out of New York.
Yeah, New York.
New York
was fire.
I wasn't really. It was the dinner in New York.
Like I didn't go. My 8 years, I did not go out in New York until I retired. I had to have surgery there, and then I had to eat, and then that's what. But during the NBA, what? You look out the window, 2 a.m, people walking next to people, rats running around. I'm good.
How was Seattle?
I'm good. Huh?
Seattle was lit.
Vaguely remember.
You didn't go to that? You ain't go out of Seattle.
I heard Seattle was lit.
I didn't really go out. When I first, I couldn't afford it, right? And I was too young, so I wasn't really going out. When I got to Washington and I started partying, I ended up getting hurt. I mean, I got hurt and then I started partying. And then once I got a taste of fame,
It was a wrap.
it was a wrap. I got one. The fame was better than the.
So you ain't had no OG, no vets that was like, roll with me, young fella, early on? Because KG used to, like he didn't party in the city, in Minnesota. Never went out. When we went on the road, Miami, New York, Atlanta, it was lit. It was lit.
No vets like
it
that
was
either.
lit.
I ain't have no vets like that. I was trying to.
But most of the vets was married. They married. Like Twan, we'll go to dinner or something. When we was in Washington,
Twan
Jameson.
yeah.
Like we'll do dinner. Like I'm good. This shit boring. Like I'd rather eat room service, bro.
Yeah, that marriage thing didn't mean a whole lot for a whole lot of niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
The league, it didn't mean a whole lot. We out. You know what I'm saying?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
We got to protect the innocent, no strays. All right, so now it's time to go 0 to 100 real quick.
Okay. I don't even know why I always look here when I can't even read it. Like, I just be looking just to look. You know what I mean?
I'm cryptic. It's that, but we got the Underdog sticker on the laptop. We know Apple was getting way too much free promo without sending no equipment over. So shout out to Underdog. Make sure you sign up. Use code Gills Arena. No match your deposit up to $100.
I don't know how you remember all this shit.
Plug.
You know how I remember? Because when that direct deposit hits, I'm like, oh, if I keep saying this shit, you keep coming. So we talked early in the week about how Steph has that dog in him. And he showed it last night with a 50-piece against the Clippers. It's his 7th time dropping 50 after age 30, which ties Will for the NBA record. Only problem is, it wasn't enough to get the win. The Warriors lost their 9th straight road game. They're now 7-28 on the road this season. They got their last road win at the end of January against the Thunder. But they're still 6th in the West right now, and they're like a game and a half behind the Suns for 4th place. So what are the chances, 0 to 100, the Warriors can win a playoff series without home court advantage?
I mean, they've done it. With a group like that, especially the main group, they've been there, they've done that. It all depends on who they're going against. They're going to be the rock star team that comes in. So, 4-time champ. So, that does mean something in playoffs.
Okay.
So, regular season and the playoffs is 2 different games. So, when they come into that building, and they get to shooting, and as a home team, you get nervous.
Yeah.
You get nervous in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Steph doing what Steph do. Klay coming down with that straight killer look on him, and it's.
And the playoffs ended today. Warriors beat the road team against the Grizzlies. So, Brandon, you think they can win that series?
Yeah, I do. I mean, they're still the champions, but they're gonna need Andrew Wiggins. They're gonna need GP too. They're gonna need their defenders. I think that's where they're struggling right now. The defensive end of their team. Poole. Like I would like to see Poole be a little bit more aggressive on the defensive end, a little bit more. Because right now they're kind of they're down players. So I think they need to get their defense together though.
If they going against the Grizzlies in that matchup specifically, I'm not rolling with the Warriors just because of the animosity between the two. Ja being the X factor, and if Ja coming in hot, we really depending on the Warriors making shots or not. They live or die on making shots, right? Klay didn't make shots last night. They lose on the road. I feel like Jordan Poole should be inserted over Klay, just because he brings more offensive firepower to the team. Klay's always going to hit shots, but if he's not hitting shots, they lose a whole dynamic of their offense, which showed last night because he wasn't hitting. And so going against Memphis with Dylan Brooks and Draymond, if Steven Adams comes back, he's healthy, they starting to get a little momentum. So I'm really not trusting the Warriors against them, but anybody else, they'll win a home game.
So this ain't 2022 no more, basically what you're saying.
Yeah. They're gonna have to. Grizzlies gonna have to prove that.
Yeah, that's what I feel.
Like, they're gonna have to prove it. I mean, it's that crowd in Memphis is really good, but you still got to be able to,
You still got to beat them 4 times. You got to be able to win 4 games. For sure. That's the biggest thing. You got to win 4.
And you got to play in Golden State.
And Golden State too.
Well, I mean, that's the only thing I'm shaky about. It's like it's not Oakland.
Right.
Yeah.
It's San Fran.
So tell me the difference, though. I keep hearing that. Because I played in Oakland, so I know that arena, and I know that six men.
Okay, it's like playing. It's like New York playing in New York versus playing in Miami, which that's technically a home crowd for them too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one is more polite.
Yeah.
And one is rude. So San Fran is polite, it's hey,
Wine and cheese.
A lot of tech bros. It's a tech bros and E40.
Yeah, but you got E40 going there. Oakland it's all E40s.
All E40.
Young E40s, not the old, not the
high feet.
Yeah, it's the high feet group.
And then it just felt like in Oakland too. Oakland is like it's on top of you. Like it's on top of you. Like the new arena is like more spread out. Like in Oakland, it was like on top. You could feel the fans. That's how like with the Kings. Like if the Kings was still at the Arco, I think they like the way they're playing, it would be hard to go win a playoff game in there.
They loud
because it's right. Yeah. They're right there.
Like so that it's like you never played in like Oregon, right?
No.
Oregon like. Who else?
Kentucky?
Mac quarterback in the day.
I don't know how their arena is, but like with the Ducks, it's because it's high, so all sound goes down.
Yeah, that's kind of Kentucky. They got that. Their whole side of the arena is like goes up, and it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that sound just tricky.
Yeah,
you're like, ooh.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. It's just like,
I felt that boo.
Man, like,
I felt that shit.
So let's talk about Andrew Wiggins a little bit. And first and foremost, just for everybody out there was a report that broke on the internet today that was super grimy. Nobody was able to corroborate it. That basically we're not going to get into. But just say beware of the bullshit that you see on the internet. Make sure you always fact check, confirm things before you run wild with a story because you end up causing situations that are unnecessary. Now, you gentlemen are plugged in, tapped in. We know what the real reason why Andrew Wiggins is not playing. It's a privacy issue. We're not going to tell y'all we ain't snitches. But it's some real shit as one of the teammates has described. So, we've sending prayers out to Andrew and his fam.
For sure.
But what does he mean to this Warriors team, and how much of the Warriors miss Wiggins out there on the court?
You have a smaller KD type, right? But he don't need to be at that KD level, for Golden State to win. He's going to battle on both sides of the floor. And one thing he's going to give you a guaranteed 17 to 21. Yes. Yeah. Guaranteed. Yeah. You can just ink it in. He is very consistent at what he does, and just that extra consistent player. You don't have to worry about Wiggins going, 2 for 15. He's going 17 to 21. You can just write it in, And I think that's what they're missing. It's one of those things when you look at him now, you didn't appreciate him. We just fans, period. We don't appreciate the consistency that he does. And when he's not there, you're like, damn, we do need him.
Yeah. And that takes a lot of pressure off Clay too. When Clay's having bad, like you said, he wasn't shooting it well. But Wiggins coming there, get that 17-21. But that's what's missing. So now it's putting the pressure on other guys that's not really used to stepping up like that, and it's showing. So it's like, but I hope everything is all right with him and he comes back though.
But you got to analyze a lot of the game when you talk about breaking down one player and how important he is to the team. Andrew Wiggins is going to give you the 17-21, but he's going to give you 7-8 rebounds. He's going to give you 5-6 assists. He's going to defend. He's going to run the floor. He's going to do the little things that they need so desperately right now that gives them the spark that the other players just can't do. And he's athletic, right? He doesn't show the emotion, which fits into their culture because they're not a very emotional team. But he understands what he brings to the table. I think he's a better Chris Middleton. He can offer a lot more than what Chris does, but he can also get lost in the sauce, right? He can take the back seat a little too much. And that's what scares me about him, although we praise him for what they need. Now, there are still lapses that he has that in times of need, he disappears, right?
Better than Chris Middleton?
I think so.
I was going to say the same thing.
I think so. I think I'm talking about as far as the defense, as far as rebounding, like Wiggins is 6'8", right? 6'8",
They're both about the same,
6'9".
right?
Yeah.
They're both,
the same height.
Middleton's like 6'6", 6'7".
I think they're both around 6'7", but
it's an argument that anyone can make because Wiggins, he doesn't have to try to score, right? So, he's the fourth option, third, fourth, between him and Poole, who's going to be 3 and 4. Yeah. Middleton is the second option.
Number 2.
And then he's the first option in the last 5 minutes.
Yep.
So they're both in 2 different time frames. If you flip them, that's an argument.
We've seen Wiggins as the number 2 in Minnesota and how that went, and Zach was number 3, and he still deferred a lot more to Cat and Levine, but he could handle the number 2. So him being number 3 now, I'm looking at him like, you're not better than Chris at this point, but you can be if you were the guy that had to be the number 2 for the Warriors.
And so we talk about this Warriors squad. We got to
make sure your buck. He's gonna make sure his buck's gonna get that.
I don't know about that, man. I don't agree with that.
And we talk about the Warriors being down, obviously missing Wiggins. News broke that Iggy got a fractured left wrist.
Yeah.
It's going to require surgery. Hasn't been playing a lot this year. Only played in 8 games. Is averaging basically 2 and 2 in very limited playing time. But just in the overall scope of what this Warriors team, that dynamic, what does he mean to this squad?
Just a veteran leader. Yeah. He's that veteran leader that every team needs. It's when you say put your ego aside. When he was in Philly, he was the number 1 option. And then when the number 1 option came, he said, hey, I'll be number 2, right? And then, with the Warriors, he's a starter, get to the championship, round, and, Harrison Barnes comes in, I'll come off the bench, no problem. Like he's done, when you say, sacrificing for the team, he's the prime example of a player who can take his ego and say, this is the betterment of the team.
Absolutely.
And, he's one of those guys that, that we all, players growing up, they should look at him like, he was the franchise guy that say, hey, you are the guy, and he's seen someone who was better fit. Hey, I can be Pippen.
Yep.
Yeah. Jordan comes, Michael Jordan come. Hey, I can be Pippen and do all these things, and he's one of those guys that was always great at. And he's like the Jimmy Butler style. Yes. Right. If you want him, if he has to take over a game, he has the capability. But for the most part, he's willing to be the second option.
So is that the approach that Paul George should have took?
But
I'm saying instead of saying it like how PG said it, like should he just did it like Andre? Like Andre ain't say it. It's just like the work spoke for itself.
Yeah. Yeah, but it seems like they both remind me of 1-2 options.
Yeah.
right? It's like both of them. It's like, but it's perfect. Both of them can decide who's going to be number one. There shouldn't be you're one, I'm two, because that's not how you two guys play. You guys are hybrids, both of them.
Yeah, you guys are franchise guys.
So you guys can sit here and, you know.
We're talking about a younger Iggy, right? Obviously not.
Younger Iggy.
Just
So,
make
you know,
sure.
look, so right now he's just a great steady vet. If you call on him, you know, he'll go out there and play. If not, you know, it's.
And when y'all were coming up, who were those veteran presidences in y'all careers?
Hold on, let me comment on Dre, because I got to give him his flowers, man. I see Dre as a highly intelligent player to be able to
Arizona
take himself
bear down
into the 6-man role. And you know, his book, The 6 Men, like he explains like what it takes to put yourself in the situation of taking a back seat, you know, realizing where you are most important to a team. And throughout his career, he's shown that. He's shown his importance to every team that he's played on. And think about a guy that's been labeled a franchise player to go to a 6-man, then win an finals MVP, and then win a couple more championships with a team where you don't have to take the credit. Your imprint is on the team because you're intelligent, and he's shown that since school. Like, he's been a guy that can play defense, pass the ball, defer, right? Take the credit. And I love everything about Dre. Like, from we was playing AAU, Illinois Warriors. Like, he's been a guy that's been fierce, competitive. His integrity for the game, everything about him has always been top notch, and I hope he gets better, man.
Yo, I just seen Dre too the other night, right? So I'm at dinner and Dre was like, he comes up to me, he goes, "Hey, what's up, BJ? I heard everybody's with every active player that got a podcast is trash, huh?" I'm like, nah, not you. Like, nah, not you. I'm just saying, everybody shouldn't be getting comfortable.
Everybody else.
You know, everybody else. He was like, everybody with a podcast trash, huh? I'm like, nah, not you.
Not you, my G.
But nah, it was
so you gonna go get the book?
Go get it. I thought you was about to go take a TV break.
Let's go,
Let's
baby.
go.
Yes, sir.
Make sure you purchase Andre Iguodala's book, The 6 Man, available in stores nationwide.
Big plug, big plug.
We plug on this show. We need to get Iggy on the show, man.
Yeah, man.
But who are the veteran presidents for y'all? I want
Iguodala.
But who are the veteran presidents for y'all, guys like Iggy, when you were coming up? You didn't have one?
What?
Who?
Did you see I got drafted to the Golden State Warriors.
Chris Mills?
Hell no. No, I mean, no.
Damn.
Let me think about
Chris
it.
gonna knock on the
No,
door.
Adana Foyle.
Okay.
But first of all, I was hard-headed anyway, so I wasn't listening to nobody.
So what? Comparable to a young Ja, if you will.
Worse.
He said it.
Worse when I say, like, if I had 40 million with my attitude, what? I would still be under a prison. I would still be under the prison.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie.
Now, I think for me, man, I had some good bets, man. I had Kurt Thomas, Jerry Stackhouse, Luke Ridnour. Luke was supposed to start, that year. Skiles was going to go with him, but, him just, I went in there, I started, and him just being a good vet, helping me that whole year. That's why we were able to be so successful, too. Michael Redd was also there with me. So I had some good vets, man, that was really talking to me, just telling me about, just different things about the.
Larry Hughes.
Okay. See, I
He was
knew
quiet. Yeah, Larry Hughes is why, because he had to put up with me. He had to put up with me. So
I'm gonna go two guys. Obvious KG. We was good friends for the 2 years that he was there when I was there. But Ricky Davis, Tricky. He was a guy who showed me the ropes as far as how to maneuver off the court. You know what I'm saying? How to, touch down, order stuff, dress, you know what I'm saying? Be appropriate, but also be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't lose who you are. And I appreciate that. And Ticket, of course, showed the luxury side. Walking to the private plane, he's just like, yo, youngin', take this in. We walk into the private plane, this is what it's about. This is what it's about. When you show up to a hotel, don't accept the room they give you. Go to the desk and you get the room you want. You got money. Use your money to be lavish. This is
Hell
something.
no.
This is something that you can't duplicate this lifestyle after it's gone, right? And I understand that now. Like the years that I had in the league, I took advantage of living a certain way that I could remember. Like, hey, I know what it's supposed to be like.
What kind of rooms were they giving you?
It was well, they give you the regular room, but Ticket was in the executive suite with the whole panoramic. It's like, yo, why he get this room and we get the one bed little with
I
the
put that in
window?
my contract.
That you had to have that.
Yeah.
Everywhere
That was
y'all
part
stayed?
of my contract. Yes.
Presidential.
Yes.
Okay.
That's fire.
Yes.
All right. I don't doubt it. Why you looking at me like that? I don't doubt it.
Don't get it twisted.
All right, let's keep moving. I got to keep the show on track because, as y'all know at home, we might talk about topics for about 45 minutes. It'll be elaborate, beautiful discussion, but then we got all these other great topics to get into. Sometimes we don't get to them.
Let's do it.
So let's talk about these Nuggets, man. Nuggets have been, first in the West since December, currently on a 4-game losing skid, their longest losing streak of the season. So Mike Malone was very critical of his squad after they got smacked by the Raptors Tuesday night. Let's take a listen.
And you can't be in chill mode with 13 games to go in the season. We got to try to find a way to get our swagger back and get back to playing Denver Nugget basketball. And maybe we've gotten a little soft for success. Now, we've been on cruise control for so long, number one in the West, since like December 15th. And again, I just told our players, we've gotten away from who we are.
So we're going to talk about the Nuggets, but first we got to talk about the guy with the Nuggets, him, if you will, Nikola Jokic. 2 straight MVPs. Now, earlier this season, Joker basically alluded to the fact that he didn't really give a shit about winning his 3rd straight MVP. You know, Larry Bird's the last guy to do it. He said, go ahead, let Larry have it. So I want to ask y'all, what are the chances, 0 to 100, that Joker cares about winning this 3rd MVP?
100.
Okay.
100.
100.
So you think it was cap when he said
No, it was probably capped back then, but the fact that it's here now, 13 games to go, and he's averaging a triple-double, and he's the front runner, come on.
It's history. But I think you blame the skid on him. Everything that's happening is because he's getting the attention that he's getting and it's deferring from the team. Sometimes in a team dynamic, you got to look at the guys around and why they're not playing up to pars because all the attention's on this one guy and his performance. So if Joker's not getting a triple-double out there, it's like, oh, we going to lose because Joker don't going to get his numbers.
But Joker, he's been balling.
Yeah, he's been balling.
He's
No,
been
that's what
balling during this 4-game losing streak.
So you look at the performances he's been putting up, it's really centered around him and not the Denver Nuggets. So as a team, the team morale is like, if Joker don't put his numbers up, we're not going to win. So Michael Porter, Murray, these guys aren't mature enough to step up and get rid of the noise on the outside and say, man, we're a team. Let's not worry about how many MVPs Joker going to win. Let's take ourselves past the playoff little roadblock that we keep running into. Let's get past that, and then we'll address all this other shit. I think they stuck in that road. Like, they just stuck behind Joker's whole 3 MVP and all that shit.
Well, they better figure it out because they gonna get shipped for him. But also, I don't think they should have traded Bones Highland.
I agree.
Like Bones Highland was a good pickup for them. Like, I don't know why he was young. He still had a lot going. Like, I think that's gonna be key too.
What do you think about Reggie being there? You don't think Reggie fit?
It's okay, but it's not like Bones just had some type of. He's just different.
Energy.
Like street energy. Like young, smiling, like a lot. Like he was, like you could tell he was happy to be there.
Absolutely.
Now, I got to talk to Bones a few times, and I will say this. It seems like for me, and I ain't going to speak for Bones, but he was looking at Jamal Murray like, y'all could cook this dude. It's kind of what you talked about before in that rookie symposium. Where it's like no matter how good you do in practice, you got a guy over you who's making the big bread. And I agree too. So I know there was some tension there. I think him and Mike Malone got into it. They made him fly commercial at one point. Like, he didn't even get to fly with the team. Like, yo.
Wow. Wait, I never heard that.
Yeah. They made him fly a commercial flight earlier in the season. So you can see that these things were coming. But it's wild to me to see him go to the Clippers now and basically just
and now he's not even playing. It's like
chilling on the bench.
It's like, yo, this kid can go. Like, this kid can really go.
I just think they've been number one for so long. They just like, I mean, there's still 4. They've lost 4 in a row. Yeah. And they're still 4 or 5 games in first place.
Damn.
You know. And then Grizzlies in second. So
Yeah, they're 4.5 games. The Kings and the Grizzlies are both 4.5
certain
games.
teams
behind.
are just certain teams.
yeah, you know what I mean. So it's not like they're worried about ever dropping a second. It's,
Right,
You know,
right.
we'll just ease going.
But for a team like that, who's obviously not got to the finals, you know, got to a Western Conference but got smacked, like, is that the right mentality to have at this point in the season?
Don't Golden State it.
I think they get smoked first round.
I don't know. It depends. You know, it all depends on who you play. But what I'm saying, don't Golden State is don't chase this record of trying to be dominant and then drop that egg you know, when it really counts. So, you know, them not going as hard or them not, you know, finishing off and they have this lead, I'm not really too concerned.
So I know what you're saying, but the way this West is shaking out this season, they got 46 wins right now, 13 games to go. They're not cracking 60 wins. You know what I mean? It's not like they're going for records or anything. They're going to have a, you know, mid 50 win season.
But I mean, what I'm saying, even the people that's trailing behind them, it's like, it's two young teams. It's not even.
Yeah.
It's two babies. They're little babies.
So
Babies.
So let's talk about Joker a little bit more. So, you know, if you've been on Twitter, you've been on the internet, you've seen the anti-Joker propaganda out there with clips of some of his bad defensive performances. We're showing some of them right now. But as Nuggets fans, we'll passionately defend Joker and say the analytics don't support that narrative that he's a bad defender. So when you watch this stuff, and these are just clips, these are highlights, I could cut together highlights and make a player look like the greatest player of all time or the worst player of all time, depending on the clips that I use. But how good of a defender is Joker?
I don't think he's a good defender at all. I think he's lazy on defense. There's a lot of players that exert more energy on offense than they do on defense just because it's needed. But then there's the sense of urgency, right? You could tell the sense of urgency of a player when they're needed on the defensive end. Like, you're the anchor, you're the big guy, you're the biggest guy on the floor, and all you got to do is be big, and you're not, and you're just kind of lazy with it because you got to preserve your energy. I get it. But these clips that we see, these are like, if you're a coach, if you've ever been trashed in film sessions, where the coach is like, rewind that. Rewind that again.
Yeah, that gets you, that gets you hot.
The eye in the sky don't lie. Rewind it again. Rewind it
That
again.
gets you
It's
hot.
like, yo, we see it.
Hey, coach, why you keep
I seen it the first 4 times.
Why you keep rewinding it, coach? Stop rewinding it. It's like, yeah, look, we can't allow this. Come on, like, it's accountability at some point, but players can't. Well, I'm not gonna say can't. Players don't want to hold other players accountable because then that creates a rift. Some coaches don't want to do the same thing because they don't want to put that player in a bad mood. So now we in a sensitive culture where you can't really tell Joker, you're not playing no defense, bro.
Hey, what record are they?
They're first in the West.
Okay.
No defense.
Like, you can nitpick at everyone's defense. Like, Embiid looks lazy to me sometimes on defense.
Yes.
But he says he wants to be the defensive player, you know, of the year. But he don't look like he ever plays defense.
Right.
You're going to say, wait, I can't, no Embiid slander.
I'm sorry.
On the Lord's Thursday.
I'm sorry, but I'm just saying.
He don't look like he ever plays defense?
He doesn't play upside defense. That's that's where Simmons came.
Yes.
That was his side of the field. Everyone got their own job. So Jokic is out here passing, scoring, rebounding. Someone's supposed to be playing. Someone getting paid for defense.
Yes. Aaron Gordon.
There's not enough money for me to play offense.
And defense. You're not paying me.
Yeah. Use the two-way plan. All right. Okay. Okay. Let me give me a two-way check.
Thank you.
All right, because I've seen defensive checks. When you can only play defense, I've seen those checks, and they do not look good.
Damn.
Okay, I've seen the Bruce Bowen's check. Shit. And I've seen the Ginobili's check. I'd rather take the Ginobili side.
Thank you.
Right?
Yeah.
I've seen the Rajah Bell check.
Leave Rajah alone. Leave Rajah alone.
I'm just saying, if you just
Leave Rajah alone,
if you just a straight defensive player, trust me, your value is not valued like that.
Right.
But we talk about this league now, and it seems like it's very offensive driven. We've had this conversation before. So how can you not look past what Joker's doing on the offensive side, averaging 10 assists as a big man?
But at the end of the day, they're trying to justify. They want to try to justify. Not giving it to him. Mm-hmm. When we can do that to every player, we can do that to every player, right? You're trying to figure out how not to give it to him and give it to someone else. Yep. At the end of the day, right now it's Joker, Greek, Embiid.
No, Giannis.
It's Joker.
Joker.
Right now, according to the folks in Vegas, it's Joker, it's Embiid, and it's Giannis. But those numbers a week ago were stretched. Now they come back.
You gotta look at
Embiid is
the record, man.
is third. Period.
The Sixers are 6-1 right now. Embiid's been killing.
Cool. 6-1. What place are they in?
Excuse me. You said on this show, on this very plush leather couch, that if they could become the number 1 team in the East,
They go. Yeah, but he's not.
But they're close. They're closing in. They're 3.5 games out of first
It's
place.
not happening. It's not happening.
And Giannis plays defense.
And yeah.
Clearly.
So they got updated MVP odds. I got the legend buried in my ear. So Embiid now has jumped to the front of the MVP race. So it's Embiid, Joker, Giannis right now. I'm just telling you, 12, 13 games left in the season. I'm just telling you.
But that's the Kendrick Perkins now. They running a narrative.
Yes.
That's a narrative run.
Yes.
Y'all can't do that shit.
Yes.
You can't do that. You can't do that. Listen, he was supposed to have it 2 years ago. We get that. All right? That's y'all fault. Right? That is y'all fault. Y'all can't make it up. Y'all can't do that makeup shit. Listen, you Joker, Giannis, Embiid. If you want to go 1A, 1B, and 3, because he ain't 2, he's 3.
Right.
Like he's playing well, congratulations,
Yeah.
but he's not doing anything different than last year.
Yes. Yeah.
2 more points is nothing different than he did last year and the year before that. He has not made no quantum leap of nothing.
Right.
So you can't justify it. If you didn't give it to him last year, what is he doing this year that changes? There's no quantum leap. He hasn't done anything. It's like if he was averaging 35, what did he average, 31 last year? 31 last year, 33 this year. Woo! The fuck is the difference?
So they're all scheduled to play each other.
Yep. I'll be at the
And the
game
sad
in a
part
second.
is, he gonna fuck Joker up.
He gonna fuck him
He gonna
up.
fuck Joker up. We not listen. He gonna do that. If this was about his performance as against Joker, the one-on-one match, oh yeah, Embiid all day.
All day.
But we can't do that. That's not. It's about the 82 games, and that's how it really looks.
You're about to wake up that dog. I hope Giannis is watching this. You hear they talk-
What does Freedom think about this?
He said some bullshit.
Gil, you ready? Do you and Giannis still have beef? Y'all cool?
We never had beef.
He was taking shots at you.
No, he did.
You didn't see, this was a while ago.
No,
but-
it was.
I didn't say-
He was at if I'm what 40, 50, right? That one. He was talking about somebody else. Because it was like 50, right? And I'm like, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet.
Who's the beef with?
So Gil, you know, had some questions about Giannis's game and his improvement. Obviously, the internet did what they did. Giannis got a hold of it. Didn't attack Gil directly, but had some things to say. But we're gonna get you out to Milwaukee, Greek restaurant. You, Giannis, sit down. Y'all gonna be like Jalen Rose and Ja.
Listen, I have my Giannis hat and my shirt.
If the Bucks win a championship this year, you got to do an episode in a Giannis jersey.
Listen, I just gave. Okay.
And we're gonna get local kids in the community. We're gonna take them to the little AMC over here,
I got
and we watching
one,
Rise.
Listen, they're 1A
We
and
watching
1B.
Rise.
You know, if I was a hater, I would have made them 3.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, nah.
It's good to see. I'm glad to see that you trended in the right direction. All right.
Let's go.
Let's grow.
Listen, wait, hold on. This is a quick question. Does Doc Rivers does he have an MVP player on in his resume? Has anybody won an MVP while he's been a coach?
No.
Right?
No.
Sorry, Embiid.
Sorry.
So it's Doc's fault?
No, I'm just.
Doc got an MVP lineup, though. We got to at least give him that.
Say got a lineup.
He got that
I was
MVP
just thinking about it. I
lineup.
was like, has he?
Thought that was a tattoo.
So the T-Mac finished fourth when Doc coached him, but
Wait, Doc was part of that 0-20? That was that 0-20 start? Is that a 20-game losing streak?
No, I'm
It
saying
was the 18. It was with the Celtics, right?
No, when he was with Orlando, when T-Mac
yeah,
had
T-Mac was with Doc was with the
that. They
Magic.
had it.
But he did one with
Doc
the
had to
Celtics
be-
too. They 18 straight.
Losses?
Yes, when Paul took the break and he went on vacation. This before they traded Sebastian and them got
Oh, before, okay.
18 straight losses.
Yeah, damn. They were trash.
And we're gonna talk about these Celtics in a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we call a tease. Make sure you keep watching because it's gonna get real spicy up here. But it's March Madness. Rashad, you got we always compliment you on the match your fist, the crown. I feel like the internet's really starting to come around and embrace the crown.
Me too.
But a lot of people can't get it off. I think that's what they're really salty
They
about.
mad.
They mad. Like, I ain't got no crown.
What the fuck is he wearing that crown for?
But you came through with the North Carolina, the nice jacket, the nice shoes, clean. But we got to talk about
Matching.
We got to talk about your squad. We got to talk about these Tar Heels.
Yeah, let's talk about them.
So North Carolina, preseason #1. Things was looking good. Y'all was in the title game last year. Caleb Love out here doing it. Cooked my Bruins last year, so I had to respect him. St. Louis, very young. But this season, finished 20-13 overall, 7th in the ACC. And to cap off a tough season, didn't get that NCAA tourney bid, but the NIT pulled up and said, look, you can keep your postseason alive. But Coach Hubert Davis and the UNC squad decided to reject that NIT bid.
Yeah.
So what are the chances, 0 to 100, that if you were Hubert Davis and you were at North Carolina,
You gonna give me that question?
you would accept a bid to the NIT?
If I was the coach, we definitely going.
Okay.
We definitely going. We can't end the season off of a rejection. One, we got to prove ourselves, and if we can win the NIT, let's go win it, right? Let's just give the kids something to feel good about, because a lot of those kids probably gonna go to the transfer portal after this. Can't take that type of shame, right? Preseason #1 to not go to the tournament, that says a lot, right, about the culture of where the tradition of UNC basketball is. It's not big man school no more. You can't depend on Baycoot or any kind of big man come in there to take you to the top, like Sean May and Tyler Hansborough and John Henson and all those guys. So now it's about rebuilding. Even though you went to the championship, the year before, Caleb played out and all that kind of stuff, but I see now that it's a systematic thing. It's a culture thing. It's where the basketball is going now in overall college sports.
Y'all went to the NIT when you were there?
Yeah, my freshman year.
Matt Doherty?
Freshman year.
Y'all played?
We played Georgetown and then Colorado.
Wait, can I ask you, what is that?
What?
When I read, I thought y'all was saying NIL.
NIT.
I thought damn, I need to erase my notes. I thought they said NIL. They rejected NIL deals.
The National Invitational Tournament, Gil. It used to be the shit back in its heyday.
Like preseason NIT.
Yeah, NIT.
Preseason NIT.
They have
Postseason.
Well, what teams go there?
Teams that don't make
Teams that don't make the
that don't make the tournament. Yeah, the teams that don't make the tournament.
69 teams do whatever.
Like a JV league?
Yeah.
You
Damn.
get the tournament. You get a whole award and everything.
Yeah.
You went to the JV league?
Freshman year, we didn't make the tournament.
Damn.
But after that, Matt Doherty,
He was gone.
Got that boot.
Yeah, he was the
Roy
reason
Williams
why.
came through.
He was the reason why. But Carolina need to make some change.
So wait, hold on. So y'all went from let me just y'all went from #1 preseason, right? To number 69 and
Not even making it. But it's the audacity.
is that like where the JUCO, y'all play against JUCOs and stuff like that?
No,
Division
it's
two?
all D1s. It's all
Oh.
No, it's all D1s still. Yeah, no, it's all
D1s.
D1s.
Just everybody didn't make the tournament.
Yeah, they did make it.
So y'all play like Pepperdine and schools like
Yeah,
that?
Colorado.
Like San Francisco
Yeah,
and all
good,
that?
Yeah. We might match
So
up
North
with-
Carolina, y'all, right? That school right there.
You gonna keep
Blue,
going?
where Jordan,
Are you gonna keep
all
doing
the Hall
this?
of Famers
You gonna
went.
keep doing this?
Y'all playing teams like Santa Maria
You gonna keep doing
College
this?
and shit, right?
You gonna keep doing this?
hey, listen, I see why they rejected that shit. That's an
Are you gonna keep doing this, my man?
But I'll just say this. So you've been in that experience. And for y'all not making the tournament, playing in NIT, do you appreciate that, or do you wish, like, fuck it, we just get the season over, let's gear up for next year?
No, you gotta keep playing.
Yeah.
You gotta keep playing because the guys, they didn't want the season to end. You don't want to stop just because you didn't.
No, they voted.
You think they voted?
They voted. It said they voted.
That's
The
what it
players
said.
voted.
Not to go?
Players voted, right?
I think, according to North Carolina, Coach Hubert Davis had a say, the AD had a say, the players had a say. It didn't say who had the bigger say of the three,
What?
because it could have been like a janky
Oh, y'all
election.
soft. Oh, y'all soft. Oh, I'm not
balance-
rolling.
There you go.
I'm not rolling.
I knew he was going.
I
knew you was going to come around.
Yeah, I'm not rolling.
Here we go.
I don't like that shit. Like that shit.
Hubert
What
Davis
bit?
let the squad decide. But I'll just say this, to your point, when you're in college, that extra check, and obviously NIL, so I can't really compare it to back in the day, we're going to want that check. As the season goes on, you get that nice check still. You get that
Yes.
extra $20 a day from the NCAA.
Yes.
You get the extra movie, pay-per-view, you
Yes.
can choose.
You get the. They give you little gifts too.
They get you gifts.
Yeah, they gave us a little DVD player.
JV?
Yeah, for the JV.
I've never heard of it.
I didn't go to college.
So you make it to the.
I mean,
you make it to the national championship game, and that's how you feel.
no, I'm just saying. I always made it to the big stuff. Like we were number one,
But you never cut down the nets, boy.
But I'm saying it was number one, and then we was two. Like I just seen that bracket. I didn't know there was a whole nother bracket for JV win because it's never been televised.
But Gil, didn't you play JV?
It's on ESPN.
Gil,
ESPN what?
Did you play
Two?
JV?
Yeah, too.
That's what I'm saying. I played JV, so I know. But I know there's a JV. I didn't know there was a JV in college.
Yes.
But if I'm the coach, as a coach, I'm sorry, you're soft as shit.
Yes.
You bailed out on your responsibility.
Yes.
And you failed your responsibility as a coach. You guys are number one, and you guys are not in a tournament, right? You're embarrassed.
Yes.
Finish off this embarrassment. Yeah. That's like being down 30 points, and then you're in a game, and the coach don't want to sub out, so you're trying to get a technical so you can get kicked out so you don't keep taking this ass whooping.
Real talk.
Finish the ass whooping. Let the kids feel. You sit there. You're North Carolina. You sit there in the NIT, the JV. You was number one, and you sit there and let them talk about it. You win, and you ain't smiling. Feel that.
Yeah.
So you know how to approach the next season. But to pretend that it didn't happen, we're gonna reject it. Has any other team
I've
ever
never
done
heard
that?
it. I've never heard it before.
I've never heard of a team doing that. That's weak. Hey, NCAA, put their asses in there any motherfucking way. Put them in there anyway. Mm-hmm. If they don't show up, there you go. They didn't show up, forfeit. Let the world know, forfeit. But sitting there, just don't vote for us. No, that's coward.
I'm trying to figure out what the Carolina fans really feel like because this is not an orthodox situation where the Carolina fans don't get to continue to cheer even though you're not in the tournament. Like when we went to the NIT, they still showed up. We played home games. Yeah. They still showed up and cheered, and we could finish the year off right. But if you don't, you rejecting an opportunity to finish.
It feels a little bit like they were potentially ducking smoke, and that was the whole thing. You go to NIT, you get smacked in the NIT.
Exactly.
Yes. It's a double smacking.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like you're being. You can't protect, like at this point, you can't protect the name. Nah. Now the name has you, you're the only team in history to ever turn it down.
Wow.
That's worse.
They're not the only team.
There's other
teams.
Not big teams like this?
Big teams.
Big teams?
I'm saying big. I don't know if you're the only number one to fall out and do it, but big teams.
big programs that's like pristine.
Yeah, we'll say fuck the NIT.
Like who? UCLA done it before?
Nah.
I think UCLA has done it.
We got to look that up.
Let me see.
But we are the first team to be preseason number one since 1985 to not make the tournament.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, y'all got to hold that. And you put that?
Oh, I wore this just because I knew they was going to play.
You must have read the shit wrong, too. You must have thought they were talking about NIL deals.
No, I think we got a chance to win it all.
I've never played JV in college.
Man, I mean, it was an experience, but I'm rooting for Carolina to win the tournament. Delusion. I'm delusional. I wear a crown. I figured I'd wear this jersey and say, look, we root for New UNC.
Support your team, ride or die. It's important. Now, meanwhile, UCLA, I got the sweatshirt on. We're going to go ahead and get this dub tonight. We may see y'all, probably not.
If y'all make it that far.
If y'all make it that far.
Karma, y'all both going to lose.
But we're going to keep this thing rolling. Now it's time for Mostly Fans.
Mostly Fans.
It ain't only fans, it's mostly fans. Oh, look at we got the good graphics at home. I hope y'all appreciate this. So we got two topics to talk about. We're gonna keep this one quick. So Desmond Bane got ejected from the Grizzlies Heat game Wednesday after catching Kevin Love with a shot to the sack. Look at, my UCLA brother, K Love. Mm-hmm. He got the grades now. Oh. So as y'all watch this, I'm gonna ask you first, Rashad. What would you have done if Desmond Bane hit you in the junk like he did Kevin Love?
I think that it was unintentional. I think it was a flop, and he's just flailing. He just happened to, get him the wrong way. I wouldn't have took offense to it unless it was something that he was doing before the game. Like if he was, intentional foul me before, and I know he was trying to come back at me or something like that, I'd definitely do something about it. But it don't look intentional. I don't like K-Love. So I think he deserved.
What's the K-Love beef for?
We played together in Minnesota. Think he a punk?
He tried to flex on you?
Yeah, he just said some shit in the Sports Illustrated article, talking about I'm chip on my shoulder and all this other dumbass shit. Now, I don't chill with K-Love like that. So
I didn't know.
Karma, motherfucker.
Okay. Damn. Brandon, what you think?
That's kind of tough. I mean, as a guard, I'm not, as a guard, we're taught to go like past their body. So it's like, I don't know, it's kind of 50-50 to me with it. But I don't think he did it on purpose though, but I just still feel like it's kind of like, as a point guard coming off screens, I don't ever do anything with my hand or anything like that.
You were quick and fast in everybody, so
yeah.
he looked like Rambo too out there, but he looked like this motherfucker right here, just all.
Yeah. But if something happened prior in the game, right, and you about to turn the corner, let's say he hit you with a hard screen and you ain't see it, but you got a chance to get him back. Is that a situation?
Am I going for the nuts? No.
Nah.
I wouldn't.
Nah. I ain't going for the nuts though, but I'm gonna make sure he feel it though.
I'm gonna run him over.
Yeah,
I'm gonna run him over.
Give him a little, knee to the thigh.
Like if I'm driving, maybe high elbow to the stomach.
Yeah, or something.
Stay away from the reproductive organs.
Like,
That's what I always say.
I'm looking at it and, was it a block first?
What do you mean?
Did they call it block or was it just an offensive foul?
I think it was the flop. It was the
Because if you look at the contact was already there before the finish, and as a referee, you can't call the second one, right?
I think they reviewed it.
So review it again.
After the review, Desmond
Right, see, that's a foul. He's already blocked. It's already a block. He's trying to get in front of him. He didn't. And the contact hits. If you call the foul right there, this aftermath does not.
So the dick smack should negate.
No, he doesn't have his. He doesn't have his hand closed. It's still flimsy. If somebody's intentionally trying to do it.
It looks like he knows if he keeps it flimsy, we're gonna be on this show saying he don't have his hand closed. It looks flimsy.
Nah, you've seen people when they're trying to
but
hit
Kevin
you
got his knee out too, so it's kind of like they could have went knee to knee.
like ball hit niggas in the nuts.
When you trying to, close the nigga in the
Yeah.
He ain't trying to use fingers. He be like, hey,
Trying to. I gotta save myself. No fingers. So we gotta keep it moving.
Oh shit.
We gotta talk about this Richard Jefferson, Paul Pierce beef.
Uh-oh.
So
Ain't that bear down?
before we talk about it, let's watch the video. We gotta see.
Richard Jefferson. Oh, that's easy 40. Every time. Every time. Don't even talk about him.
He's sweet. This nigga's sweet.
He's sweet. Sweet. He's sweet. Hey, look at the numbers, dog. Numbers don't lie, man. Come on.
Okay, first let me say this. Paul Pierce, one of the best players of the generation. 100% better than me. Comparing me to him is like comparing him to D-Wade. They're different stratospheres. We don't even do that. But let's address what he said. Every time. Sweet. Don't even ask me about it. Bro, we beat you 10 out of 11 times. We beat you 3 times in the postseason in the conference finals. You won a game. There's even a Christmas Day game here. Look at somebody highlight this. We beat you by 40 in front of all of America. And I was the starting small forward. And then you proceeded to follow that amazing act up with 8 straight more losses, including getting swept in the postseason. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and act like I was a better player than you. I'm not even going to act like that. But to disrespect and say the shit was sweet, I think your definition of sweet's a little bit different.
Before we get into it, a couple of things. He didn't need to take the D-Wade shot.
No,
and then he said somebody highlight this like he wasn't the one highlighting.
That's Arizona, baby. We gonna make sure we get the slicing. We gonna get the slicing. Listen. As bear down. Richard, come on.
We need more UCLA Bruins up in this shit, bro.
Listen. Richard, both of your parents is black. When did you become a Frenchman?
Man.
When did you become speaking in the we form? Right? He said you were sweet. Like you was guarding him and he was busting you up for 40. Now you wanted, basketball players always want to talk we. They always want to be Frenchmen. They want to use team success when you trying to do a one-on-one fight.
Deflecting.
Just straight deflection. I remember another one. Listen, I came to YouTube. I came right here, this YouTube. I came to YouTube to argue with a man one-on-one, right? He was busted down old YouTuber. He's just deadbeat old YouTuber.
Is that how you gonna go?
No, I'm just saying he's a horrible YouTuber. Like I was whooping him so bad, just me one-on-one, just whooping him so bad that he doesn't even like you don't even see his face no more. He's more like radio, right? I mean, for him, he has a face for radio, but
Wow.
no, he has. Trust me, if you see his face, if he ever shows it, he has a face for radio. So when I'm whooping him up, he became a Frenchman too. It was like the first French person I ever fought against. He started talking we for him, like we had a whole group calling themselves we the people. Just a bunch of French black people, right? Never been to France, right? But they want to talk in we for him. So I had to fight a whole group of them people. So I understand that whole crap about like, yo, this is a one-on-one match. Richard, he's talking about you versus him. Don't try to bring in your nets and all of them. It's just one-on-one. He said you was weak, just like the person I was whooping on this week.
Who's a YouTuber?
Huh?
He was a YouTuber who
Just
you
a busted ass YouTuber. Just
Man.
busted YouTuber.
Well, yeah, like you said, that is between them. But this is my question with this Boston team. Like man. Okay, first of all, who's the most overrated championship team that you guys seen in the last 20 years?
Overrated?
Yeah.
Like the hype was.
Yeah, the hype was there, but it's like you didn't really live up to it, like it was supposed to.
Boston and Lakers?
No, Kobe got 2.
No. This Lakers.
Yeah. The LeBron Lakers.
What? The bubble, the hardest championship in NBA
No,
history?
when you're talking about
no home court advantage in the midst of a pandemic.
No, when you're talking about championship teams, right? You're talking
I think
about
that Raptors team.
how you get put together. I mean, that was to win it.
Yeah, to win it all. Yeah, championship that won it all.
Overrated or
Yeah, the last 20 years. Like who's the team that's the most overrated the last 20 years that won it all? That still be talking like.
Who are you gonna say?
I'm saying the Celtics.
You saying the Paul Pierce KG Celtics with the Rondo and Ray Allen and them?
Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
They supposed to win more.
Yeah. I feel like they didn't achieve as the way they talk is like, yeah, like and
you would think they won.
I would think they won like 3 or 4, like they did it like Bird and them. But it's like when you look back, it's like, well, damn, you only won 1 ring. Like, and you guys were the first ones to do this big 3 thing and have this team, and it's like, I get it, but it's like, I don't. If that makes sense, or y'all fighting that? Like,
Nah, I mean, they were supposed to win more.
Right.
Like I remember Paul and a couple other guys making bets. We're gonna win 2, 3, 4, and that was after the first one. And they never lived up to that. And regardless of the team morale and how the team broke up and all that, and Kobe Bryant was still alive and still hooping. You know what I'm saying? But then LeBron goes and does his thing. You still got to play. You know what I'm saying? You still got to hoop. You still got to win.
Yeah.
Like you said, they do hold a lot of that energy of.
It's like, and then it's like, okay, say if the Warriors didn't win it this year without KD, like it'd be kind of like, it's like, well, you guys were only able to win, but they proved that they can do it again. Boston just never did it again.
So I was confused, but we're technically talking about the same thing. So when I said them and the Lakers, now when the team got put together, we French, right? Connection.
Okay.
We gave them multiple championships, right? So when Boston got put together, 2, 3, 4, because they were all ready. They had a young, great group.
Yep.
You thought they would have pulled out at least 3 championships, just like when Bron and D Wade got together, right? We were saying, okay, they're gonna have multiple.
Yeah.
They end up getting multiple.
Yes. Yep.
Y'all didn't.
Yep.
Just like right now, AD, LeBron, they only got 1, right? So at that point where you're talking about a team being built to win championships, right? You have to say. I mean, you can say Brooklyn. There's Brooklyn Nets because they were built to try to win championship.
Okay.
Yep.
Second would be Boston.
Yep.
Third would be Lakers because they they haven't broken up yet.
What about this
Dallas?
Kawhi and PG Clippers?
Sorry, no.
No,
Bro,
we
yeah,
don't
when that news broke,
You don't like that word. He don't like that word.
when that news broke during the summer,
But it's
that
not
Kawhi and PG were teaming up.
Okay,
It's the Clippers. That's
it's
why.
the Clip. Listen,
Is that was your? Oh, it's
no.
just Clippers.
It's the Clippers, and 1, Doc was the coach.
Yeah.
2, 2, Stephen A. Smith coined them as the champions, and at that point he was 1-10. So I was doing the math. So like at the beginning of the season, you pick a team to win. Yeah. The media, not just Steve, the media themselves was 1-10. So whoever they favored winning the championship that year, they was 1-10 on that one. So and then it was the Clippers. So they was moving 0-4.
Okay.
And then you think about all the players that the Celtics had through those runs of trying to win, like Sheed, J.O.
Okay, so you know what you put it
like,
now when you think about the teams that they were trying to put together to actually keep winning, then they would be in front of Jersey.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sorry.
They're gonna fight you, Gil. Brooklyn.
So you steal Jersey.
You can't get no team taking Brooklyn. We appreciate y'all pulling up. Hopefully everybody's bracket stay intact through the weekend.
I hope that busted ass YouTube was watching.
And before we wrap, Gil, make it smoke.
UNC all day, baby. That's how I had his page, smoking.
Make sure y'all pick UNC to win it all for March Madness. I think we're like 16th seed or something
the 17th
like that.
seed.
17th seed, you picked them.
Before we wrap though, Gil, this is 2 straight days. You haven't said you gotta remember. I'm starting to miss it. You gotta remember that I'm missing it.
Hey, you gotta remember when I busted up that YouTuber. Messed his whole page up. Now he over there doing a radio on YouTube.
Leave him alone, man.
He over there doing a radio on YouTube.
Leave him alone,
Do y'all
man.
remember that?
Why you messing with him, man? Leave the man alone, man.
That's just a busted ass YouTuber. I ain't important. Nobody know who he is.
I ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm just minding my business.
Bystander. I'm a
hosting.
pedestrian. Walking across the street. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
I'm watching in the bleachers. But we appreciate y'all tapping in with us. It's been another Gil's Arena presented by Underdog Fantasy. Whoa! We'll be back Tuesday.
Look, with the
Lord
honor
have
for
mercy.
greatness, the
Damn, Gil,
chosen
you-
a few, that carry the gift of genius, who do what they do, who possess finesse, are blessed with desire, it's true.